Welcome, Khale. Thanks for joining me here,
Yeah,
man.
man. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited to be here, bro. I've been looking forward to this all day.
Heck yeah, dude. I remember whenever I talked to you about this a few weeks ago. I wanted to kind of get into your album, get into your music career, kind of how you got onto those sorts of things, and we'll kind of let this go wherever it takes us.
Yeah,
'Cause
100%.
second episode we're ever doing of this, so I'm honored to have you. So you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Khale Knox. I'm a student here at Northwest Missouri State studying audio engineering. I also double as the label head for Primal Records. That's kind of the label that I own and operate. We got 2 artists right now, and then we work a lot with outside producers. I'm really trying to get a in-house beat maker. I feel like that would really polish everything off. But other than that, yeah, I've just been working, making music, and getting out of this finals week, bro.
Heck yeah, dude. We're cranking out a finals week. When was your last final?
Yesterday, I had a presentation at 2 to 4. He actually gave me a 99%, so I was like,
Hey.
let's go, bro. Yeah, I was excited.
Can't quite get that 100, but you got that 99, dog.
Hit that home run right at the end. No, but it was cool. I had 2 on Monday, and then we were in online case study, so that one was online.
Yeah.
I did that on like Sunday night.
Yeah, I cranked mine out, I think, Monday before it was due. I got done an hour before it was due. Heck yeah, dude.
Do today.
Exactly.
No, 100, bro. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, man. We're just kind of rocking and rolling. There's one artist right now named Gills. He's been one of my longtime friends. He just dropped his debut tape in April. It's called Guess I'm Living Still. It's an acronym for Gills, Gils,
Okay.
which is
Heck
also
yeah.
his initials, which I thought was pretty cool. And then Young J Tree, he's one of our recently signed artists, and he sent us a ton of crazy demos, and so we're working on getting his first debut tape in the works right now.
Yeah. Where'd you meet those guys?
So I met Gabe actually. Funny story. So my friend Cooper, I used to live in his living room when I moved out of the dorms because I didn't want to live in the dorms anymore. And so one day Gabe came over to a little house party we were throwing, and I was asleep on the couch. And Gabe started freestyling for Cooper, and he was like, "Dude, that guy makes music." And he was
Hey,
like, "The
okay.
dude that's like drooling on the couch right now." And he was like, "Yeah, that one." And so he played him some of my music while I was asleep. And the next day he came back over and he was like, "Dude, I want to like make a song with you."
Heck yeah, dude.
And-
So with those guys, have you, like, how does that kind of process work with?
So basically what we do, it's more so like an endorsement rather than like a actual label deal.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times when you get money from a professional, non-independently owned label, they'll give you like a loan. And so what we do as an independent label, we more so try to push our artists to make and use their own money instead of like, oh, here's $6 million, but if you don't recuperate it, we get your masters,
Yeah.
you know, like, so yeah, I'm just trying to really give power to the artists.
Okay,
That's my big thing.
Yeah, so whenever you started, it was Primal Records. Whenever you started that, how did that process look? Did you start it with a buddy? Kind of where'd you come from with that?
So I'm actually the only original Primal member left standing. There was 5 of us. It was my sophomore year of high school. It was me, Klondike, Kid Love. We had a drummer. His name was Chris. He was really cool. And then my buddy Philip. And we were just making stuff on SoundCloud, trying to be cool. We put out 3 singles, and then we almost got done with a mixtape. And then COVID hit, and so everybody kind of dispersed. And then Klondike and Kid Love graduated, and Elijah, Kid Love, went to the military, and Larry, Klondike, ended up going to college in the Ozarks. So it was like 5 hours away for both of them.
Yeah.
But whenever I got up here, I was kind of just doing my own thing, and I decided to revive the label because, I don't know, I just felt like it would be cool.
Yeah, heck yeah, dude. Why not grow that talent base?
Dude,
So,
yeah.
Whenever, like, because I'm not as familiar, whenever it comes to the music industry, I'm more on the TV side of things. Is it, because you mentioned it's more of like an endorsement side of things. So is it kind of, because the closest I can think to it and more of like the, like, major music labels is it kind of more like a Strange Music to where, like, that's an independently
oh, yeah,
owned?
100%.
So, okay.
Yeah. So Strange Music is a great example. You know, they don't take a whole lot of their artist rights creatively, and they give them a lot more profit percentages, but they don't give them as much money up front to create the album. A lot of times record labels will give you that lump sum of money in the beginning because, okay, you need $50,000 for features, you need $100,000 for 2 months of studio time, you need living expenses, you need food. And then us, since we're smaller and independently owned, it's a lot more one-man band. It's kind of like we'll promote you and you promote our brand and we'll be friends, but like I'm not going to tell you that you can't put out something because I don't think it's going to make money, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You don't want to steal from the artist because you're still operating from that independent artist kind of base. So what do you, because you obviously started as an independent artist. What was that kind of like your music journey coming up? Because you're from the Kansas City area, and kind of what was that like? What were some of your inspirations? How do you get started with that?
So originally when I decided to get into hip hop, I was starting off making rock music, and it was maybe a 6-month, 1-year adventure, and I was like, man, I really can't sing. And so
that's the benefit of rap. You're like, I don't necessarily have to be able to sing. I just gotta be able to write flows.
Oh God, I gotta be on beat. But I'd always been a huge hip hop head. I was super old school. I wasn't into a lot of like I'd say anything 2016 and past. I was really big into like Biggie, Tupac, Big Crit, Danny Brown was huge, and then Tech Nine really. Yeah. But full circle, I really discovered that I wanted to fully make hip-hop music because my older cousin snuck me into a Tech Nine show or Power and Light when I was 14.
Heck yeah.
I was like, dude, this is awesome. So I was like, that's where I want to be in 10 years is on that stage, man.
Yeah, so Tech Nine, obviously a Kansas City native. What part of KC are you from?
So I'm not from KC. We're about a 45-minute hour venture right outside.
Okay,
kind of in between KC and Columbia.
What city?
So a really, really small town called Slater, but I
know where Slater is.
Yeah. Right next to Marshall, which is right off of the junction between I think it's I-70 is the road that takes you.
Yeah, I-70 stretches across St. Louis, Kansas City, stretches that boring stretch of Kansas. Have you ever been that way to Colorado?
Literally just flat for an hour and a half. Dude.
Known as literally the most boring drive in the history of the United States. It's flat the entire way from Colorado to Kansas. Colorado to Missouri, there's nothing to do across Kansas once you get past Lawrence.
It's like corn. Oh, look, corn again.
Not even. It's like, and then you get it past harvest season, and it's like, dude, it's just flat.
Land,
I can see,
bro,
I can see the mountains in front of me, but I'm still 2 hours from the border.
Exactly.
Like,
no, 100%.
So being from kind of in that in between area, so listening to your music, you mentioned Kansas City a lot. Did you, whenever you were growing up, kind of coming up, did you hang out around the Kansas City area a lot since it was so close?
Since being from such a small town, I spent a lot of time in Sedalia, Kansas City, Columbia. Columbia was really the biggest place we would go for anything we needed or any whatever events we wanted to attend. I did my first show in Columbia.
Heck yeah, dude. Where at?
It was actually in this old abandoned garage that's called the what did they call it? The PML, something like that. But yeah, it was gross. There was like 200 people there. It was awesome.
Heck yeah,
but before the show, I was like sweeping cigarette butts off the floor, man. I was like, oh God.
You're like, hey, this was other duties as a sign. Whenever I signed the deal for this, you're like, dude, I got.
Yep. The bathroom didn't work, so people had to go outside to the gas station.
Somebody leaves. Somebody hops up on stage, takes a pee on stage.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Like, dude, what do we do?
He said the toilet wouldn't flush.
Yeah. When was that first show?
So that was April of last year.
Okay.
So 2023, me, my boy Josh, and then my boy, what is his? Kai Russo. That's what he goes by on Spotify and everything. And then Gills, my artist.
Yeah.
There was the 4 of us, and we got a bunch of guys together and went out there. It was really cool, man. It was a lot of fun.
How'd you get hooked up with that gig?
So Josh actually used to go to school here, and then he transferred to Mizzou. But we unloaded trucks at Walmart together for probably 6 months, and he was like, we went probably like 4 or 5 months, just no contact. And then he texted me one day. He was like, I'm putting together a show, and I want to get openers. And he was like, would you like to open for me?
Yeah, dude.
And it took me no seconds to reply. I was like, yep.
You were like, what time, what place? I'll be there. I got to drive 17 hours. I'll drive 17 hours to be there.
I showed up like 3 hours early and no one was there. I was like, shoot, this place isn't even unlocked yet.
You're like, am I at the right place, or I just get like catfished and to get kidnapped? You're waiting for the guys to put a bag over your head around the corner.
Catfish 4-hour drive to my doom, bro. Yeah.
The people from Catfish walked out. They're like, who are you here to meet today?
Yeah.
Like,
I have no idea.
I just make music, dog. I am not robbing the place. I swear.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can do some sketchy parts in Columbia too, like
dude. Yeah, some of the downtown Como and more of that outside edge on the west side is super kind of
that west and north side get a little, not even a little. They get rough.
Yeah, they get rowdy down there, man. Yeah.
I'm from 45 minutes north or 45 minutes south of Columbia, so I went up to Columbia a lot.
Where are you from?
Just above the Lake of the Ozarks, a little town called Eldon. I'm like 10 minutes north of Lake of the Ozarks.
Do you know where Versailles is?
Yeah, I know exactly where
Versailles is. My grandparents live in Versailles,
Heck
bro.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
We always played them in football. They got the nicest fields out there.
Really?
Dude, so Sam Walton, the dude who founded Walmart, invented Walmart, his daughter or like his stepdaughter or some relative lives in Versailles. She donates X amount of money to the school each year, but from what I heard growing up, they have to spend all that money each year or she'll stop giving it to them.
They can't just like hold it and spend it on something else. They're like, I'm giving you this, I want you to spend it.
Yeah, they would get like a new turf field every single year. It was crazy, dude. And it's a tiny town. I don't know if you've ever been out in that area, but it is a tiny town.
No,
they got some
it's
of the
super
nicest
small.
crap.
I know. But we used to drive through there on the way going up. Yeah, it was like a little checkpoint for us when we hit Eldon, bro. That's weird. I probably drove past
dude, I live right off of, so if you were from, so you said coming from like Slater and like Kansas City area to Columbia.
Yeah.
So if you took I-70 the entire way across, you didn't. But if you go down Highway 5, go through Versailles and you go through Eldon, I live right on the south side of town, right on the Highway 54 like bridge. And there's like a truck stop and all that stuff there. So I live right off Highway 54. So if you drove by, I probably heard your car in the middle of the night.
I probably drove right by your house, man. That's crazy.
Small world, dude. That Central Missouri gang, we stick together, dog. It's kind of wild.
And there's like nothing to do other than like the four big cities in Missouri, so everybody's traveling everywhere,
Exactly, dude. And like, you're in a perfect spot. Like, I know me growing up, it's like we were 2 hours from Springfield.
Bro, yeah.
We were 2.5 from Kansas City and St. Louis, and we were 45 minutes, 50 minutes from Columbia. So we were right there in the middle. I mean, there's nothing to do at Eldon except, I know me and my buddies, funny you mentioned Versailles, we always used to start in Eldon, drive to the Lake of the Ozarks, do the lap around the dam and all that stuff, drive back up to Eldon, drive through Versailles, turn around in Versailles, and then we'd end our night doing something stupid and go to Walmart. They had a 24-hour Walmart in Versailles.
Oh, I miss 24-hour Walmarts, bro.
Sketchiest thing you've ever seen in your life. Like, me and my buddy Sam, we were there 2 a.m. sometime, and there was this guy, the little like test arcade machines they would have out? Remember when they did like the at-home build your own Pac-Man machines? Well, I was playing one of them, and some dude gets like really close to my face and he goes, "Can I play next?" And I went, "Buddy, you can have it now."
You can have the whole machine, yeah.
Hey, you should sign him, dude. He was walking up and down the aisle just belting music at the top of his lungs.
He's our next big hit, bro.
He's the next big hit.
He's taking us
the
to the
Walmart singer guy, dude.
I know, it's like Mason Ramsey, dude, yeah.
The yodel kid, dude.
Dude, yeah.
People forget, he literally started yodeling in Walmart.
He was a meme at first, bro, and now he has a full-time music career right
performed
now.
here at Northwest.
Yeah.
I find that crazy.
That's
how
we're gonna have
Mason
to do
Ramsey.
It, dude. Yeah, and AJR too. AJR was super underrated.
Yeah. Well, did you know? What's his face? Adam Sandler performed here. Steve-O came here before. Like, Bo Burnham performed here one time.
No
It was all before those guys were big. But we have a commercial on KNWT with Steve-O saying like, "My name's Steve-O and you're watching KNWT."
Oh, that's
and he
so
gives like a little
awesome,
shout.
dude.
And then Adam Sandler, I think it was. Who was I talking to about it? Adam Sandler came in the 90s while he was blowing up on like the music and blowing up on kind of the movies. He came to Northwest, performed, and then Bo Burnham, because Adam's a big Bo Burnham fan, performed, I think, 2 or 3 years before Adam was here. He came through, and yeah, he did a little show here whenever he was starting to blow up.
That's some Northwest lore, bro. Yeah. I've never heard about that. That's crazy.
We got some crazy stuff here, dude. Like, it's... This campus is wild. Like, there's some wild stuff.
Dude, yeah.
What's the wildest adventure you gotten into at Northwest? I'll let you take a drink of water first.
So we decided it would be a good idea in the middle of the night during December when it was froze to jump into Colton Pond.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was not the smartest decision I think I've ever made in my life. It was so freezing. Like when you get out of like a pool or something,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh wait, there's snow coming down. I made a horrible decision. We gotta walk all the way back to the dorms, just like, oh my god.
So was it warmer in the pond or was it warmer outside?
If you got used to the water, it'd be way warmer in the pond, bro. Yeah.
Until you just freeze, you're like, I can't feel my legs. I either am getting used to the water or I have like frostbite.
Yeah, or I got about 3 minutes before I pass out. No, for real though. Oh shoot.
Dude, there's some wild stuff. I know that little like fishing dock out there that you can kind of walk into. I used to always go to my freshman year. It's like I just wanted to chill in the middle of the night. Me and some buddies would go out there. Who was it I was with? I had like a deep conversation with somebody out there one night about making movies and stuff like that. And it was wild. He gave me like a movie idea that he wanted to do, but it was like animated. And it was Gabe. It was after Gabe Chadwick. So
yeah.
It was after one of our short films that we made my freshman year. And we went out there. It was the middle of the night. We had been filming all night in my dorm
all
room.
night, yeah.
We went out there, dude. He was telling me about this short film. I was like, that's awesome. You got to make that one day. I don't even know if he remembers that conversation, but I was like, dude, we were all sleep deprived. We got an energy drinks. That was wicked, dude.
Sitting out there all scenic and everything, bro. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Whenever it comes to your music, so I know you talked about some of those older guys. Who were your inspos? So listening to your music, it has a wide range of sound to it, but I feel like everybody's got to start somewhere. You kind of pick your inspiration. So who were those guys for you?
So growing up, I was, like I said, I was a bit of an old head. So a lot of like NWA, Eazy-E, who else was in there? Oh, Terror Squad, Fat Joe, Big Pun, Big L. Those are like my guys. I love Big L. Who else?
Who got you into their music?
YouTube, actually.
Okay.
I was really heavy into Mac Miller growing up because my mom actually, whenever he dropped Kids on CD, she thought it was rap for kids. And so she bought it for me when I was like 10, and Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza was on, and she was like, what are you listening to? I was like, you bought this for me, bro.
What are you talking about? I thought you wanted me to listen to this music.
Exactly.
Like,
it was so funny. But yeah, so whenever YouTube kind of came out, I naturally gravitated towards those videos that had kind of like the boom bap sound. And I was really big into, like Eminem and Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, kind of the classics. So I think that just kind of came naturally with digging around on YouTube, trying to find new artists.
Yeah.
But new age right now, I've really been into like Big Crit, if you know who that is. Big X The Plug was my number 2 artist right now. Lucky for sure. Lucky's been a big one. And then Mick Jenkins is somebody I think is really underrated, if you know who that is.
Okay, I never heard of him. I'm going to be 100% honest.
Mick Jenkins is awesome. He was signed to the same label that, can I swear?
Yeah, go for it.
He was signed to the same label that Joey Badass was.
Okay.
And then Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle's a big one too.
Okay.
He was signed to that label as well. It's a label, Cinematic. I think they're based out of Baltimore, but I could be wrong.
Okay, so it's one of the East Coast labels and stuff
for
like
sure.
that. Okay,
but yeah, so I kind of just went down a rabbit hole over the years and found all these artists. I've never been super big into like the, like the Playboi Carti or the Destroy Lonely or Ken Carson, which I respect. How crazy their fans go at their concerts and the kind of music they're making. Like the rage music is probably insane in person. But I've always just been more of kind of like a boom bap head.
Okay. I know we talked about. I remember because I vividly remember this because you were one of the only people who remembered. I mentioned Hobson to you whenever we were out in the lobby one time, dude.
Bro, people slam Hobson. Dude, he was so fire.
He was. I agree. He was a little corny sometimes. He did have some of those corny bars, but it's like, dude, he made some legitimate bangers, dude.
Bro, yeah.
He was good. He just got slammed. He went down that mental health spiral with losing his kid, his wife. I think it was Illmind 9 that he sung about, the last Illmind that he had.
Kind of like 2017, 18, 19 era. Yeah. I know. It was hard to see. Whenever Funk Volume fell apart, I was sad, man, because I really like Dizzy Wright, too.
Yeah, Dizzy Wright, dude.
And Jaron Benton, bro, yeah.
Aren't they both on Strange Music now, or are they independent?
I think Jaron's on Strange Music. I have no idea what Dizzy Wright is doing. I haven't listened to his music. I listened to his old stuff, but I haven't checked in on him since like 2018.
I think he may be Strange Music because I know he still does a lot of stuff with Tech Nine, and they went on tour. I remember I wanted to go to the tour.
Dude, that would have been an insane show.
I think it was 2018. It was Jared Benton, Dizzy Wright, Tech Nine, and then Colorado show randomly in Colorado. Hobson and Joyner Lucas popped out, did guest appearances for
Oh,
both of them, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, Joyner's one of those guys I've been on since day one.
Dude,
I love
Do you
Joyner
know
Lucas.
the Roscoe Pacinioni video?
Yes.
That's the one I
Oh
found
my
him on,
gosh,
bro. Yeah.
dude. You were earlier than me then because I was on the phone number album with like
Yeah.
Winter Blues
Yeah,
and like
I'm sorry on
yeah,
it. That album was
I'm
no
sorry,
skips, bro.
dude,
Yeah,
I'm
the album
sorry.
is no skips.
I think I'm Sorry was genuinely the first song that made me cry.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not even gonna lie,
100%.
dude. I didn't know what to expect. I listened to it. I was like, dang.
Dude, and you coming from Joyner too, you know, because he had the
What was it, Mansion, the first album?
I think it was the one where he's got like the space background and
Yeah,
everything, you know.
I think it's Mansion. I know he has a song on it called Mansion. I'm trying to remember the actual name of the album, but crap. I know exactly what you're
Right.
talking about because that's what Ross. How do you pronounce the name? It's like Cappuccino.
Cappuccinioni?
Cappuccino. It's the album that song was on.
Right.
I remember getting that song, and dude, that one's wild. The music video.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's based on a true story too.
Yeah, no, it is. Actually, I found an interview one day with the actual guy, and
Holy
he's got
crap.
like, you know, I don't want to say indentions, you know, from the gunshot wounds, but basically like indentions.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
dude, that would scar your body getting a shotgun to the head and chest
Dude,
right here, dude.
yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. No.
Yeah.
Joyner is one of my favorite storytellers in music. His
100%.
ability to tell a story from start to finish through music, that is one of the most difficult things to do, and I think he does a perfect job at it.
Right, because you can make a whole 3-minute song telling the story, but if it's not interesting,
Yeah.
you know, and the story could be interesting, but if you don't rhyme it in an interesting way, then people aren't going to listen.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a really big challenge that I think he does really well.
Yeah, 100%, especially being able to tell the visuals with it, tell a full story in it. It doesn't necessarily have to the entire thing doesn't necessarily have to be like oh, I'm bumping my head like a
Right,
beat and stuff
right.
like that, because you can make that kind of music and tell a story still, but it's like, dude, his ability to storytell. I remember whenever he was dropping ADHD.
Oh, that album. Okay, that album was actually really good, bro.
Dude.
People just hated on it.
I didn't understand the hate on it, dude. I remember he would put out single after single for a year.
Yeah.
And then finally drop the album. I'm like, dude, you should have put this out a year ago. Because I know, what are the singles he did? I Love was a single. ISIS was a single because he
Yep.
squashed him and Logic's
Yep.
beef on that
Yep.
single. And then, crap,
Oh.
was ADHD a single on that song? Or on
yeah,
that album?
yeah. Because that was the music video where he was like robbing the bank. You remember?
I'm trying to remember that. I don't remember that music video.
Dang.
Oh, dude, talking about his music videos, Keep It 100 is such a good one, too.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Dude, Keep It 100's on that same album as Winter Blues and the Phone Number album, and it's the life cycle of a $100 bill. And he talks about like,
I do remember that.
yeah, because it ends. The dude robs the bank. He gets it, puts it in the donation bin at church and all that stuff. It goes through the life cycle. Then some dude walks in, ends with like he gets a fresh $100 bill, walks into the same grocery store, same one that got robbed, puts it. Everything just stopped, and it's like, dog.
That's so full circle. Yeah, because
It was.
I now that you say that, dude, I remember the first time I watched that music video, and it's like because it's from the POV of the dollar bill.
Yeah, it's
you
like
know?
you're seeing it handed the entire time.
It's so cool, dude. It's really creative. I
Oh,
think. You
yeah.
know, like how long did he sit in his room to think of that?
Yeah,
you know?
especially even the song, like the music. I think the music video feeds once you get the idea for a song, but it's like thinking about that whole thing. And I love the different points of view that he does because it's not. Obviously, it has the stripper in it, having like the $100 bill and stuff like
Right.
that. But then it goes through the life cycle of somebody just struggling, somebody that just happens upon a $100 bill, the dude who loses it in the street and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man,
Dude, it's classic for sure.
yeah. Were you ever into Logic at all?
So this is one of the biggest contradictions I think I'm ever gonna make is when I talk about Logic, because his first 3 Young Sinatra mixtapes and Under Pressure, I don't have a single skip on any of those albums. But anything after The Incredible True Story, I honestly think is garbage. Man.
You don't like Bobby Tarantino?
Ooh, there's a couple songs off Bobby
Yeah.
Tarantino 1 that I like. It's got 44 bars
44
on it.
Bars
Super
is
Mario
such
World.
a
Yeah,
good one,
I forgot
dude.
about that. Yeah.
44 Bars is normally my banger off that album.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't gotten, because I remember Under Pressure, I think I was introduced to Logic whenever he blew up with everybody, it was like the 1-800 song, the Suicide Hotline song, because that was on the album. Was that Everybody? Was the name of the Yeah, because it's one with like the portrait and you see all that stuff with it. I remember getting introduced to him. Listen to that song because the way I got introduced to hip hop, I had a buddy in 5th grade who was a big Eminem guy.
Dude, yeah.
Introduced me to Eminem, Hobson. Lose Yourself was the first song I ever learned, and I got introduced to M. Still, I think M was 4th on my Spotify Wrapped this year.
Dang.
Eminem is, and I'm gonna again same what you said. It's gonna sound like a contradiction. Slim Shady LP, Infinite's not a great album.
Right.
Infinite, the title song is really the only song that I like from the album.
Right.
But it's like everything from the Slim Shady LP up to you gotta skip, in my opinion, Relapse. I'm not a big Relapse guy.
We cannot count that. Well, Recovery came out right after that, and everybody forgot about
Recovery's
Relapse.
great.
Yeah, Recovery's awesome.
Beautiful on Relapse is a great song though, because it's got Beautiful. It's got Deja Vu with
I haven't heard that song in a long time.
and then he's got one with what's the one with Dre and 50 Cent?
Crack a Bottle.
Crack a Bottle. So
Yeah,
I
Crack
love
a
that
Bottle's
song.
Awesome, yeah.
And then Old Time's Sake with Dre. Dang, I'm going through this album now. It's like there's some good songs, but wasn't a massive fan of that song or that album. And then of course he had Revival.
Right. I think anything MMLP 2 and before is absolute classic.
I agree.
You got the Love Yours tattoo.
Yeah, dude. Well, I forgot about that. I got a J. Cole tattoo right here. We'll get to him in a sec, but like, I love Kamikaze. Kamikaze is a great album from him.
That actually was a pretty good album. Yeah.
I put it in one of his top albums. I'm not even gonna lie, but everything after that, Music to Be Murdered By, side 1, and like side A, side B, and then you get into the Death of Slim Shady. The Death of Slim Shady was not great.
It was a bad album.
I get the concept. Did you listen to it at all?
I listen to whenever I go through albums that I don't think I'm gonna like very much, I'll just skip 30 seconds into every song. So I was like, I don't know. I didn't really seem interested in it, if that makes sense.
I don't blame it. It wasn't great. I get the idea, and I think the concept was cool because it was a conceptual album.
Right.
It was cool hearing like Eminem and Slim Shady fighting, Slim Shady dying at the end, but it seemed like, and I get the point he was trying to prove, but it was like the same like corny insults that Slim would make, and it's like you're not capturing the essence of what Slim Shady was.
Right.
He wasn't saying stuff just to say stuff. It was based in truth.
He was gonna burn your house down.
Yeah, he was gonna burn your house down. He wasn't just gonna be like, "Oh, Bruce, Caitlyn Jenner," and he used that same line like 15 times on the album. I was like, "Dude, just stop."
Stop trying to be something you're not anymore.
Yeah.
Which I still got mad respect for Eminem, but I agree with that. I think Slim Shady is just a better costume.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I know The Real Slim Shady is my go-to karaoke song, dude. I got called back on for an encore in Indianapolis. It was some dive bar in Indianapolis, karaoke bar. I rapped The Real Slim Shady, and I got called back up for an encore for that. Dude, actually, here.
I got a video of it?
I got a video. Watch. I can Bluetooth it to here, too, so everybody can hear this. Take a brief pause.
That's such a side quest.
Dude,
that's so awesome, though.
I'm telling you, dude. When I tell you I got into Eminem, I wouldn't say I was like a stan, like I was obsessed with him, but like he was the quintessential rapper for me.
Yeah.
I think I still have him in my top 5, but I don't necessarily have him at that one spot anymore, like I would have a few years ago.
Right, 100%.
See if I can get it to that Roadcaster. Gosh dang.
Did you listen to D12? Were you into D12 at all?
I was not a D12 guy. I was not a D12 guy at all. I know he had what's the song? He had, was it Drug Ballad Please 2 on on MMLP. He had a song that he had a few of those guys on, but I was never a big D12 guy.
Yeah, I liked Proof. That was Eminem's friend that passed away, and after he would, get off the song, I kind of just skip.
Yeah.
No offense to Bizarre or anybody, but
I wasn't Bizarre. It's him because of his voice.
Yeah.
And I think Bizarre is one of the only guys. I couldn't even name you who's on there aside from Proof and Bizarre. I know M, Proof, and Bizarre. And then what I respect about Proof, and M will die by this, is the guy that taught him to freestyle and still
You've seen that video of them in the car, busting it down in like 1998, bro. Yeah.
Dude, my favorite video is them. in or not my favorite video, my favorite song, Stepping Stone, whenever he's talking about in Kamikaze, about how D12 falls off. And I loved just hearing that from him of like, dude, it just wasn't anybody's fault. It was a friendship that just fell apart. And it's like, just kind of got to live with that fact. He's one of my favorite storytellers to this day still.
100%. I love when he gets real. Yeah, go ahead.
Should hear it in your headphones. Maybe. Oh, wait. I gotta turn it up. I gotta turn it up here on the soundboard. Let's do that.
It's got a Bluetooth knob.
Yeah, it's got a Bluetooth. You can hook it up here. Here it is.
That's so cool, dude. Oh, you killing that right now.
Dude, my favorite part, Eric right there. Listen to this.
That's my roommate. That's so funny, dude.
That's my boy Eric. I was out at National FFA convention for that video. And
dude, yeah.
We all went out to the bars like after convention and stuff like that. We'd all go out to the bars. Eric's my boy from Georgia. And he was out there. We ended up being roommates at this thing. And I remember going out to the bars because I went out with my parents, got back to the hotel room. I was literally turning on the shower whenever I was ready to go to bed. I just get a text from her calling. He's like, dude, where you at?
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, we're all at the bar right now.
We got plans now.
You got to be back here. I was like, give me like 5 minutes. Yeah. I walked my happy butt back to that bar from the hotel and, dude, had the greatest night of my life that night. Dude, have you ever been to Indy?
Yeah, I went my sophomore, my junior year for National FFA convention.
Oh,
actually.
Crap. That's right, dude. I forgot you were at FFA too. Like, what contest did you do? I completely forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot about that side.
So my first semester, I did knowledge. My second semester, I did meets. My third semester, we did farm management. We actually won state.
Heck yeah, dude.
And
you said that was 2020, didn't you?
Yeah.
So we didn't get to go.
Yeah, we didn't get nationals because of COVID, man.
Dang,
yeah, it
dude.
was a huge bummer, man. Really sad.
Yeah.
And then my senior year, we did Parliament, but it was me and my 6 friends, so we would go in there and get absolute dead last.
You were just there for a good time.
Yeah,
you
we
were
were
like,
just
dude, we ain't got to worry about anything. We're just here for a good time. Like,
we'd mess up in the middle of the contest. We'd be like, oops. All right, next year.
To be 100% honest, I fully respect that, though, because it's like, I know my freshman year I did conducted chapter meetings, which I love parliamentary procedure because of that. And it ended up being me and how many were in that? It was 7 of us, I think. Me and 6 of some of my best friends. And like we continued that friendship throughout high school. Some of us fallen off and stuff.
Right.
But we ended up taking second in the nation my freshman year.
Oh man.
And like had some of my favorite memories ever with those people going out to Indianapolis. Me and Sam, actually one of the guys on the team, my best friend to this day. I remember whenever we competed, it was after finals we competed. It was like, now it's time to wait. All the girls, because it was me and him were the only 2 guys, and then it was 5 girls.
Man.
So all the girls wanted to go to some like noodle place or something like that. And we were like, we're going to Buffalo Wild Wings.
He said, I need no noodles, yeah.
Yeah, so we walked down the street to B-Dubs, and on our way back, I remember, in Indy for National FFA Convention, there's a really bad homeless problem in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
But they house most of the homeless people and like put them in hotels to clear the streets. Well, there was a group. I don't know if they were homeless. I just know it was a massive group of people, a lot of shouting and a lot of screaming. And we almost walked right through the middle of it. And we walked around because as soon as we got past, you just hear a pop. And then somebody hits the ground and they're all cheering. And I'm like, what?
I don't want to be in the middle of that. Yeah, no.
Dude, I had some wild stories in FFA. We had there's some I don't want to say, but I was a state officer and we had some like late nights with some of that crew. I know going to convention, I got to work with RFD TV, got to do some of that cool stuff.
Dude, yeah.
Maybe sometime I'll do like a spill off for an FFA state officer, but let's just say we had some fun adventures.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, man. I know exactly where you're going.
But no, after that time, that's why I got to work. That was convention not this past year, but the year before. I get to go out, work it, because Eric was a national officer the year before. Me and him became friends then. He invited me out. He was like, hey, dude, we need somebody else to work. Do you want to come out and work? Got to know a bunch of people. I got to go down to Florida this past summer, work their convention because I got connected through there. And, like, FFA is one of those things. I'm not sure if you share this kind of sentiment, but I wasn't a farm kid. I wasn't like a traditional production ag kid, but doing the leadership side and just the people you get to meet, the skills you get to learn, have given me so many opportunities in every realm.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I honestly agree with that so hard because whenever I first joined FFA, I was like, well, I'm not good at sports. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess I'll go hang out with the farm kids. But there's, a plethora of stuff to do that you don't even have to be adept at farming. Like, dude, I wear J's and Air Forces every day. Like, I'm not a farmer, you know what I'm saying? So,
dude, you would have liked my advisor, Nick Parks. I remember he always pulled up. He had the cleanest shoe game. He'd say, I had the cleanest shoe game out of any advisor. He'd pull up in some of the sickest shoes. Like, dude, he was not who you would think would be an advisor, but he was an ag advisor, one of the best ones I ever had. And, like, again, it's one of those things. It's for everybody. There's so many different people and stuff like that within the organization. It's great.
Dude, yeah. I made a lot of good connections with FFA. There's actually a couple people I still talk to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and do a summer internship before I get off into the workforce. And one of my buddies, Gage, is a studio engineer in Northmore. He works for a record label in Kansas City.
That's sick, dude.
And I would have never met him if I did FFA. And, he's a we're both music engineers, but, like, we met in a farming association. Like, it was weird how it works like that. But I think, dude, everybody should do FFA.
Dude, 100%. It's one of those, like you said, I got opportunities on the media side, social media, doing camera work and stuff, just because I was in the organization. I got to meet people and stuff like that. It was Lucas Oil Stadium whenever I was at convention 2 years ago. It was the year I was state officer. We went to convention. We were delegates and everything. But I was working with RFD, and one of the, the head over all the media for FFA, PR and stuff, I got brought up to meet him. I got brought up to meet a bunch of people. It was in the press boxes up in Lucas Oil, and I got to walk out. One of them was like, hey, you want to see stadium? I got another cool video of this. Let's go back another year. It was Lucas Oil from a top-down view.
Oh, dude.
And, dude, when I tell you this was one of the coolest things.
I can't even imagine. We went to Lucas Oil for Garth Brooks in 2018, 19, whatever he did.
My advisor wouldn't let us go because that was the year that Trump was at convention too.
Yep. That was an awesome concert. We got floor seats for it too. We were really far back, but we were on the floor. It was so cool, dude.
I was so upset because my mom got to see Garth Brooks at convention like whenever she was young, and she was genuinely mad at my advisors for saying you wouldn't let him go. My advisors, bless their hearts at the time, like they were great, but they're very keen on go watch contest teams because you're going to be here someday.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to go to the rodeo. We didn't get to go to like the concert and
so
stuff.
Cool, dude. Yeah. I understand kind of that. Just to play devil's advocate, I get like, they should be studying, but it's like, dude, like I had so much fun. Yeah, I make memories,
Yeah.
like that. And low key, I had headphones in for all of the openers before Garth Brooks, but Garth Brooks can put on a show, man. He really knows how to rock a crowd.
Dude, that's what I've heard. I'm not even a big Garth Brooks fan, and
Me either.
I want to go to a concert. I've heard my cousin went to a concert, and she said she ended up going because he's notorious for buying out the first few rows of his concert, handing out tickets to people in like the nosebleeds and stuff. She wasn't even a big Garth Brooks fan, but somebody was like, "Are you guys big Garth Brooks fans?" And she went, "Yeah." He said, "Here's some tickets. Go down to the front row." They were in like the first or second row, but apparently like during the concert, played his classics, brought out a piano, played a bunch of covers, then took requests from the crowd.
That was something I have never seen anybody else do at a concert. Literally at the end, he was like, "Is there anything I didn't play y'all want me to play?"
Oh my gosh.
And that right there, I was like, dude, this guy, he's actually cool.
Yeah.
Like, he's not just some dude up there making money, making songs. Like, he cares about his fan base,
Well, I remember in high school, we were taking some class, and like for finals week, we did random trivia because we didn't have anything else to do. And one of the trivia questions was, who was the second highest grossing artist of all time? It was him. Garth Brooks is the second highest. According to my professor, I haven't double checked this. I should probably fact check this before I get like canceled or
Yeah.
something.
He's only number 4. Like,
but apparently it was like he was the second highest grossing like individual artist of all time or something like that. It was absolutely crazy.
Who's number 1?
Oh crap! Wait.
Who's number 1?
I think it was MJ. I think it was Michael Jackson, if I'm being honest, which, I mean, it makes sense. But here's the video I got from Lucas Oil.
Dude, that is insane.
That was during a retiring address. I think it was Courtney Zimmel's retiring address. Retiring address.
You can literally see everybody out there.
Dude, it was so cool getting to go up there and see that. And it was completely open air. There wasn't glass or anything. So I was like, if I trip, I'm like
going over. Yeah,
I'm going over at Lucas Oil Stadium. It was last year too. We ended up, whenever I worked it, they left all the back tunnels, like some rooms unlocked. The Colts locker room was unlocked, so I went back there and explored. I didn't explore it because I got nervous, but I walked back in there. I was like, Colts locker room. I walked in. I was like, this is definitely their locker room. You see the Super Bowl banner hanging from the top, and it's like, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around and leave before I get caught by security. Yeah, no, for real.
Oh man, dude! So you mentioned J. Cole. Yeah, I got this Cole tattoo, and I know we had talked about it before. I'm glad you corrected me. He recently has been dropping his old mixtapes on Spotify, which I thought it was a new album. I was really confused because I was like, this sounds like old Cole.
Right.
But
sounds like the Sideline Story.
Yeah, like it sounds like old Cole, and I was like, maybe he's going back to an old sound before the fall off. But I think he's heading to the fall off. Like he's got to be dropping all these albums coming up.
Right.
Like,
he's like, I'm gonna get everything set in place, then I'm gonna drop it. I'm just gonna hands off.
Yeah, dude. I think he was my third most streamed artist. He was my number 1 streamed rap artist this year. So
Cole's so fired. Dude.
I love J. Cole, dude. He's one of those guys. I think it was Ice Cube was quoted as saying he's the only rapper to not have a criminal record. And like, like mainstream rap, hip hop and stuff. He's like, he is the only rapper to not have a criminal record, which is crazy.
Right.
Like he went to college, he did the untraditional route. And he's like, I'm just gonna make music. I want to make music.
I want to make cool shit. Yeah, no, 100%.
Oh man.
I think this is a hot take, 100%, but I think that Born Sinner is a better album than 2014.
Really?
Super hot take, but dude Born Sinner is
really
so
hot take.
Good, dude.
It's got some bangers, but 2014 doesn't have a single skip. I can listen to that album front to back, not a single skip. It's one of my go-to like comfort albums. If I need an album that I know I'm gonna bang out to, dude.
Do you remember all the double platinum no feature memes whenever they came around, bro? Yeah. That was so funny.
Oh my gosh. Cole's one of those guys. I'm so happy he got out of that beef between Drake and K-Dot. It's like, dude.
And not to say Cole couldn't hold his own in a rap battle, but Cole has always struck me as somebody who does it for the love of the music and for like the love of Dreamville and everything. So seeing him in more of like an aggressive light was kind of, I don't want to say concerning, but I was just kind of like turned off by that idea. Yeah. Which I liked off of Might Delete Later. It's I forget the name of the song, but it was a banger. It was bars all the way.
Was it Hunt Wabbits?
Oh,
Hunt Wabbits is my favorite song off that dude.
Hunt Wabbits is good too.
He
bro.
pulled a soundbite. What do you call those? Like a
sample.
He pulled a sample from Meat Canyon.
Yeah.
Like the YouTuber.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
And I watched Meat Canyon react to the song because he's like, dude, this is crazy. I'm in a J. Cole song. This isn't my normal content, but his producers hit me up and were like, hey, can we use your sample? He was like, yeah, of course.
Absolutely, dude. Crocodile Tears was the name of that song I was thinking of.
I don't think I never listened through the full thing. I'm not going to lie. Because I think it was on a weekend or we were watching a football game. I was at the Teak House whenever it happened. Right. We were all partying there and stuff. And because one of the guys in there, Woot, is a massive we bonded because he has the Born Sinner crown tattooed right on his bicep. Yeah. And I remember he saw my Love Yours tattoo and he goes, dog. He points to it. And he goes, dog. Yeah. And I remember him saying, he's like, dude, Cole just dropped. He dropped him. I thought it was the fall off. So I was like, I'm dropping everything. He goes, no, it was a mixtape. And then 20 minutes later, he goes, there's a Kendrick diss on this thing. And it was his diss again. It was his diss against Kendrick, which I thought was pretty solid.
No, it was
7 Minute Drill was good, dude.
Yeah. Kendrick clapped back 100%, but that first off the rip when J. Cole came out with that, I was like, oh man, like what are we getting into right now, bro? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I know the conversation. I gotta ask your opinion on this. There's a lot of conversation about because people are like, well, Kendrick could drop anybody in a diss track, anything like that. I think you throw like Prime Eminem in there, dude. M ended careers. Lil Wayne, he started some shit with Lil Wayne.
Oh man,
it's like I think Wayne could.
I'll say this: if Lil Wayne was healthy, he could absolutely annihilate anybody in any battle because he never writes down his own lyrics.
No, dude, he's one of the guys. He freestyles all of his music, which is crazy.
Yeah, which is insane.
About.
How do you remember that? You know,
gosh. Juice WRLD was one of the same guy. Dude, Juice WRLD is my favorite freestyler ever. Dude, R.I.P. to that dude because
100%.
Listening to him on was it Westworld, him doing the hour of Eminem,
freestyle, bro.
Eminem beats, dude. And that was crazy.
The thing with that too, though, like sometimes, like the Smoke Perp freestyle, like 99% of it was filler.
Yeah.
When Juice WRLD gets on there, like he's got real bars. He's thinking of real bars. It's never like rat, cat, bat, tat, fat. Like he's actually spitting, bro. It was tragic, bro. Tragic.
Dude, it was he was somebody he was one of those modern guys I could get behind. I was normally never a big, like, I guess that mumble rap, everybody throws that. I couldn't get behind it because of the guys I started listening to. Demonized it so much, got into it a little bit, really enjoyed Juice. X was all right. Like, his music was all right. But I think I started to appreciate it for what it was. And, like, whenever I finally started getting into his music, I was like, well, Juice just passed. And it's like, dang it, dude. Yeah. His freestyles were unmatched.
Dude, yeah. Little fun fact of lore, I don't know if you know. So Dr. Dre found Eminem in 1998. They were at a freestyle competition. It was like a rap battle.
Okay.
So Eminem made it all the way to the finals, and he lost a battle and got second to this guy. And Dr. Dre's manager was there, and he came up and he asked M for a tape, and he told him to F off and threw the CD at him. And he caught it and took it to Dre and was like, "You have to hear this."
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Like Dre. I knew Dre discovered. I didn't know that was a story. That's crazy.
It was crazy. It was like, that could have been so much worse. If he was just like, "Oh, I don't want to listen to this guy anymore."
To Eminem and Slim shit, dude. Honestly, if that never happened, I don't know if we get some of this modern hip hop, especially with FCC violations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we get a lot of that stuff. I think NWA to this day would still be accounted as like the pinnacle of like dirty, raunchy rap and 100%. Stuff like that. But it's like it's definitely NWA and M solidified that area of like, this is why Parental Advisory is
on the album. Yeah. No, for real though, man. Yeah, 100%.
Oh my gosh. So going back to that part though, because I think M is somebody. I think M in his prime could take on anybody.
100.
Like Kendrick proved right here. Kendrick he's just petty as. He's petty as.
He knows how to get under your skin, bro.
He knows how to just attack after attack. Wayne, I think, is one of those guys. I think Ice Cube, maybe. Yeah. Like, are there any guys in your mind?
50 Cent is somebody that's really underrated. And I think a lot of his music is made to sound, like he makes gangster rap, but it's professionally made. Like, if he were to just hop on a beat and rap, like, do you remember whenever him and Ja Rule had that beef? And he bought out the first, like, 2,000 seats of his concert.
I remember you telling me about that.
He was performing to nobody, bro. Like, what?
50 is the pettiest dude in like a good way too. Of like with the Floyd Mayweather thing, he's like, dog, I will donate. He's like, screw the ice bucket challenge. I will donate $500,000 to you and $500 to any charity if you can read one page of a Harry Potter book.
And he couldn't, bro. He couldn't do it.
It's like that is the pettiest thing ever, dude.
So funny, bro. Yeah.
No, I remember whenever it was because he just released it because it was a single originally, and then he released it with, I think it was Eminem Show Extended Edition like 2 years ago. He released Bump Heads on an actual album on streaming, which it hadn't streamed before.
I know, you had to go to
and
YouTube
it was finally
and
on
get it.
streaming.
Yeah.
Dude, Bump Heads is one of my favorite diss tracks because it's him. It was him and Fitty dissing Ja Rule, and then there was some other guy on there. It was like, dude.
It was, that and the Nail in the Coffin diss for Benzino.
Yes.
He literally wiped that dude off. Benzino owns, It's a specific magazine. He shouts it out in the Eminem show LP. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna see me on the back page of whatever and whatever again." But Benzino owned a magazine.
Was it Double XL? Did Benzino have a piece in Double XL?
Either that or it was like Fader or like the Shade Room or some big magazine, some big hip hop magazine back in the day. And people literally just stopped buying it.
That's crazy.
People just were like, I'm not gonna ever be caught dead listening to Benzino after this, bro. Yeah.
Was it Benzino or Ja Rule like getting on talking about Eminem ending his career like in a recent podcast, and he just started bawling his eyes out?
Oh yeah, Benzino, bro. It was Benzino. Because they were like, how do you feel that Eminem, like dropped your album sales by like 120%? And he was like, just started sobbing, bro. He was like, it's been 20 years. We don't have to talk about this.
Dude, I would hate to, because Cannabis is another one of those guys.
Yeah.
Cannabis could spit, dude.
Bro, yeah.
But M was another one of those guys. What song was it? It was it Square Dance whenever he calls him Cannabitch or something like that? Starts the beef with it?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
I don't remember what song it was, but I do remember that beef. And that's another person too. Like nobody talks about Cannabis anymore.
But dude, he could spit. Cannabis was
100%.
a spitter, dude.
Bro, yeah.
He especially, I would put him up there with like lyrical, like lyricist wise. He was a flamethrower, dude.
100%.
But it's like nobody remembers him. Nobody could tell you who Cannabis is.
Right. That's like who was the other guy that was with Ja Rule? They did like collab tapes together. I'll look it up.
The Game?
Ooh, okay, I got some hate for The Game, I'm not going to lie. I like The Game's music, but I don't like that dude as a person.
Oh, shit, we got to get into that crap.
Bro, yeah.
Fabulous?
Yeah, whenever the Eminem beef happened, him and Ja Rule were literally like just friends, and people stopped listening to Fabulous because he was associated with Ja Rule, bro.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild, yeah.
So what's your hate for The Game? I don't know enough about The Game, so I'm coming into this kind of blind. Like,
my original, I've never had a problem with him up until he did Stillmatic.
Okay.
And he, obviously that's supposed to be like an Illmatic tribute. And the album was absolutely terrible, and it was hugely filled with features. But I just don't like the way the guy operates, Like he went on an interview and said he feels like he can beat Eminem in a rap battle because he was trying to get clout.
I think I have heard of that.
And then, like 2-3 months later, I saw him on an Instagram ad talking about, oh, I got these cheap features. Like, I come get a feature from The Game.
That's
and
wild,
I was like, dude, get off of my feed, bro. Yeah.
Dude, go get you could get a feature with The Game, dog.
Get me into the G Unit, bro. Yeah.
Are there any of those YouTube rappers that you with?
Ooh. Okay, so there's a couple TikTok rappers that I'm really into right now. One of them is Perry Mason.
I feel like I've heard.
He recently just beat a battle with cancer, which is crazy. And between this year and last year, he's dropped 9 albums.
Oh, wild, dude.
Like, he
just records music.
Yeah. And it's awesome. It's very like bizarre kind of music. I shouldn't say bizarre as in like the rapper, but bizarre as in like the adjective.
Okay, so is it more like psychedelic rap or something like that? Because
I wish I could describe it to you. It's kind of like a cross between old crazy like Eminem kind of like lyrics, and then it's like on Tommy Richmond beats. Like, it's really funky.
Interesting.
Dude, it's cool, man.
It's really funky out-of-pocket stuff?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't do a very good job of explaining it, but it's 100. I don't even know how to explain it because it's 100% his creative control. Like, there's some songs where he's singing, and there's some songs where he's, like, screaming in the microphone, but all of it goes hard. But with that being said, some other YouTube rappers that I really liked back in the day, do you know who Crypt is?
Dude. I was about to ask. The reason I was going to, I got a signed Crypt poster, Tales of the Crypt, like his first album that he dropped. I got a signed poster hanging in my room because I remember whenever he dropped the album, he did like a 24-hour release. He was like, if you buy one of my posters within this, I will sign every poster, and it
Yeah.
was like $10, something like that. So
Of course I'm gonna buy it.
dude,
Yeah.
Crypt is a guy I really mess with.
Crypt is
especially
awesome.
his YouTube ciphers that he would put
Yeah.
out. I love Quadeca, dude.
Quadeca's so
Quadeca's
hard,
great,
bro.
dude.
And Quadeca makes like I feel like there's a distinct difference between the type of music that people like Dax make and the people
Yes.
like Quadeca. You
Yes.
know, like Quadeca, because Dax started on YouTube too.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
you knew that.
I remember that crap. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I remember all the beef that went down between because he was like, I'm not a YouTube rapper. Screw you
And
guys.
then he started scamming the YouTube rappers for features.
Dude, the Four Horsemen feature with
Chase.
Quadeca. It was Quadeca, Dax, Crypt, and Screw. Crap, what was his name?
Screwface
Gene.
Yes.
Dude.
And Screwface Gene's on Strange. He's on Strange Music.
Is he on Strange
he
Music
used to be
now?
at least,
Dude.
bro. Yeah. Yeah, and Dax did terrible.
Yeah,
he
he
gave him
literally. have you heard the story behind that?
Mm-mm.
Dude, so Crypt talks about, he's like, here's the full story, because I remember whenever that old beef, because what was the final diss track that they did on him? That Crypt, Eulogy that Crypt dropped. Banger song, too. But Crypt talks about, he's like, so the way Four Horsemen, it was supposed to be a song just between him and Dax.
Right.
And he was like, okay, I want to do a collab with you. We're both big up-and-coming YouTube rappers. Let's do something. And he gets a feature. Dax doesn't do a full verse, but rather does like, I think he did like, what, 8 bars, something like that?
Yeah, it was like maybe a 25-second clip.
And
he was supposed to have like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, and it was like, so he did that, so Crypt's like, okay, instead, I want to make a full song. I'm not going to waste this. So he's like, I'm going to go to Quadeca. I'm going to go to Screwface Gene. And he's like, let's make a song together. Dax didn't like that. He's like, screw you guys. So he's like, 3 brothers and a goat. And it's like, why are you dissing everybody on here?
He said that?
He said, so he's like, I'm summed on this beat. It's just 3 brothers. It's 3 brothers and a goat on this beat or something like that, talking about himself.
That's ridiculous.
And then he got he got dissed hardcore by everybody.
Yeah.
And then turned and he's like, no, I'm sorry. And then it ruined his career because he was touring with Tech 9. He was opening for Tech, which is huge.
Right. And the problem is, like, those guys knew Tech.
Yeah.
Screwface Gene used to be, I don't know if he still is, but he used to be signed to Strange Music.
Dude.
And so, like, whenever you're basically kicking somebody's little brother, like, they're not going to be happy with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and it's like, so he did that, and then it was like, dude, and then I remember whenever he turned, he's like, no, I'm going to start doing YouTube rap again. And it's like, you just ruined your entire career.
because he started collabing with Tom McDonald. Do you know who that dude is? That dude is
Tom McDonald's
corny, bro. Yeah, he is so corny.
He is literally rage bait as crap.
100%.
Dude.
He is making all of his money off of making people mad.
Dude, I remember listening to, I'm not going to lie, I messed with Tom McDonald for a little bit. Then I was like, this is corny as crap.
In the very, very, very early stages of his music, it wasn't bad. But then he made this song called, because Hell of It was a really good song.
I think I remember that
And then
song.
he made Straight White Male. And I was like, I'm never listening to this dude ever again.
Dude,
like,
the auto-tune that he had on his voice, he's like, straight
white,
yeah.
It was so corny, dude. Oh, my God.
Dude, and then he did what? Last year he did the song with Ben Shapiro, and it was like...
That song was stupid, bro. Yeah, that was so bad.
When I saw that dropped, my reaction was like, what the heck?
I almost feel bad for the guy, because, like, that's not just, like, him in the studio and then somebody being like, all right, put this out. Like, he's independent, so, like, he records it, and then he'll find somebody to mix it and master it, and he's already found the beat, and then he's like, yeah, I'm going to put this out.
He's
this
like,
is fire.
This
Like, no, bro.
And see, there's a way to do it, because I remember Joyner dropping I'm Not Racist whenever Joyner did that. And it's like, that was a great way to have social context to a song. And, like, I guess you could argue because Joyner's a black man and, like, Tom McDonald's a white man. So coming of it from 2 different points of view. But, like, Joyner's I'm Not Racist was a great way to cover that topic, especially during that time period. Is like,
Did you ever listen to Marlon Craft? Do you know who that is?
I don't.
He was a huge underground rapper back in the day. He still has a pretty good cult following. He's out of New York. But he did a song called, let me look it up for you real quick. But Marlon Craft, here it is. But he did a song back in the day that was from the perspective of a police officer, from the perspective of a gang leader, and from the perspective of a KKK leader. And at the end, he comes in and he's like, like hatred and bigotry are formations of perspective.
Dang.
And dude, I was just
what's
like,
that song called?
I'll try and find it for you. Gang Shit.
Okay.
Yeah, Gang Shit by Marlon Craft. It's on his album Funhouse Mirror. Dude, that song is
Is it on Spotify
wild.
or is it YouTube?
Yeah. He's got 5 albums out right now. He used to be signed to, what was that label called?
Here it is, Marlon Craft.
Yeah, he used to be signed to Sony, and then he went independent. But yeah, on Funhouse Mirror, the second to last, like the not most recent album, I don't think there's a single skip on that album. It's so good. It's got Nick Caution and Dizzy Wright, if you know who Nick Caution is from Pro Era.
Yeah.
Like Kirk Knight and everybody like that, bro, and Capital Steez.
Yeah, I've heard those names. I've never actually listened to the music, but I've heard the names.
100%.
You know, we were talking about like YouTube rap and stuff like that. Did you ever watch No Life Shack, the reactor?
Whoa, yeah, because the other guy's name was Dante. What was Dante? Shoot, you know what I'm talking about though?
I think so. It was No Life Shack because there's a different like Shack creator that does like Madden videos.
Right.
Pretty sure No Life Shack was the like rap reactor.
Yeah, like the hip hop reactor.
He's still pumping out videos, dude. Because he has that really like deep, like raspy, like almost like, for lack of a better term, he has like that hood Southern accent.
Yeah, no,
and
100%.
He's so funny, dude.
Right, bro. Yeah, he's got that drawback, but he's still like got that deep like bass, like wherever he's talking about, he means. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
And so it's cool.
Dude, him and then did you ever? This may be one pulling it out of the bag. Did you ever listen to Token?
Whoa, yeah. Okay, so we're going way back, bro. I'm gonna sound like a clout chaser here, but I found Token before he ever dropped a single album. There was a song called Waist Down.
Waist Down, such a good song, dude. I remember, on Eraser Shavings?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember when that
gosh.
dropped, bro. Because I was on YouTube, right? He had just done, or maybe it was right before he did the No Sucka MC freestyle. And that freestyle blew. It got like 3 million views in the first week, bro.
Dude.
And yeah, Waist Down was awesome because he's running around in the wheelchair, and at the very end, he ties a rocket to it, bro. And Token's awesome, bro.
Because it's like
Token.
Waist Down, waist. Yeah.
He's got that song with JID now. Boom. I thought that was a really solid song.
That was on his new. Was that on his newest album or is that a single?
I think it's on Pink Is Better. I could be capping though.
Let's see. I think it is because I'm
roll
pretty
through the
sure
city with the vroom vroom. I got na 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 and a boom because JID kills it, bro.
JID, dude, love that. I found him whenever he dropped the DiCaprio 2, dude. Before he blew up with like surround sound or whatever, everybody started picking him up. Love that, dude.
Yeah,
151 Rum, dude.
151 Rum, never, bro.
Dude, Working Out's one of my favorite. Like, I need a relax song by him. Such a good song.
And the
him
piano
on some of
in
those
that song
Dreamville
too,
songs
you know?
too,
Sorry,
dude.
You're leaked everywhere. I was like, oh god. But dude, yeah, JID was my favorite. He was my number 1 streamed artist in 2020 and 2021.
Crazy, dude.
Jid,
that was
bro,
way before anybody was picking him up.
I should have put him as one of my biggest inspirations, dude. I got heavy into Jid, and that's where I kind of get that rippity dippity rapid fire like kind of flow that I got. But yeah, Jid's awesome, bro. I'd give him top 5 right now.
Okay, dude. Because I remember whenever I found him, I think it was 151 Rum was the first one that I found. Because it was whenever I was getting into like Cole, getting into the Dreamville stuff.
Yeah.
And I found him off of Dreamville, I'm pretty sure. It was either that or I can't remember what it was. It wasn't a double XL because he wasn't on double XL with that.
Do you remember his double XL freestyle with Ski Mask?
Yeah, dude. I love Ski Mask, dude.
Dude, yeah.
Ski Mask was one of those guys that broke my perception of like mumble rap.
Yeah.
Because he was a mumble rapper that spit mumble rapper that
quote,
spit
unquote.
bars because he had that flow, he had that verbiage, and he had that tone of a mumble rapper, but he could spit bars, dude.
He was like he reminds me of like if Tech 9 was a little bit goofier in the modern era because he still got that like alliteration of like but like it's bars though. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Like, yeah, I love Ski Mask. I didn't like his new album very much.
When did he drop a new album?
I think it was last year. It was the one that had Shibuya on it. I'm out in Shibuya, out here in Japan.
I don't think I ever actually listened to that album.
That song specifically is really good, but I didn't like a whole lot of the rest. I'm
Yeah.
a big You Will Regret and Book of Eli
Okay,
guy. If I listen to Ski Mask,
yeah,
bro,
dude,
yeah. Or Stokely, bro, because Stokely's a classic.
Oh, Stokely is such a good album by him, dude. Like,
Bro, yeah.
it's because that's the one with what songs are on that album?
It's got like Nuketown with Juice
yeah,
on it.
that. Yeah, okay, I'm trying to remember because it wasn't the one with it's the one with Faucet Failure. It's got Nuketown. It's got where are the other ones on that thing?
Cat Piss is on there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because it's the brown cover. Whenever he's like posing, like what is he? He's like Napoleon, something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
He's got like
except
the
with the do rag on it,
yeah.
stuff like that.
Dude, yeah, that was a fire album though. That was right
Yeah.
after X passed away.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, like I really want to drop something like
Dude,
that.
Nuketown's one of my go-to workout songs.
So
Nuketown's a
fire.
banger, dude.
Yeah, that's one of the best Juice WRLD verses I think I've heard. That's
I
actually
agree, dude.
like not a freestyle.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, dude.
So
Man, talking to like freestyles, I remember because you mentioned Token, one of my favorite freestyles of all time. I have listened to this thing so much.
you talking about the Sway in the Morning freestyle?
That, but I'm not talking about Token specifically. Dude, Lil Dicky's Sway in the Morning freestyle.
Oh, dude, yeah, Lil Dicky just decided to go off for 3.5 minutes,
Dude,
bro. Yeah, out of
it
nowhere.
was crazy. It's my favorite thing. Anytime I go back to that video, it's like the comment section, the top comment is like, don't even lie to yourself, or don't even lie. This isn't your third, fourth, or even fifth time watching this video.
No, yeah. Dude, I respect the fact that Lil Dicky wanted to be a comedian, but he was a fire rapper.
Dude,
have you ever
he
heard
actually spit? Like,
Have you ever heard Russell Westbrook on a farm?
I have not. What?
It's over the Tuscan Leather beat by Drake. The like sample where it's like ooh ah. I'll play it for you real quick.
Here, let me hit it on here. Let me hit
Yeah.
it on here so we can listen to it.
You'll have to go to YouTube.
Okay, what's it called?
Russell Westbrook on a farm. It's actually about if Russell Westbrook grew up on a farm, but like he just kills it, dude. Yeah.
Wait, this guy. Oh crap!
Yep,
Yeah, he
yeah.
even recreated. Crap. Let's get this. I ain't got ads, dude. Okay. I got YouTube Premium, dog. I ain't
Oh,
got to mess
dude,
with those
yeah.
ads.
I know I should have invested in YouTube TV or YouTube Premium.
Dude, Premium, $7 or $7.99 a month for students.
That's not bad at all, dude.
No.
$8 a month,
That's
bro. Yeah,
student
shameless
discount.
plug.
Yeah, shameless plug, dude. I just watch so much
Ain't no
YouTube.
doubt about it, shit is coming. And I'm just praying that Lil Dicky love it. Always told myself that this the type of shit I wanted. I was being honest, even made a promise. Not with anybody else, this was inner conscious. Talking to my fucking self, that's a little bonkers. I know, I still got a lot of shit to conquer. I hope.
There's a
that ain't
part in
even
here
my
where he just
concern,
goes
though. You know I'll be
off,
working till
dude.
get
I wish
what
I knew
deserve, whatever
the exact
told 'em fucking
timestamp of it, but he
you
just
know
like
what my earn
sends
knows.
it, bro.
This ain't even
And then he
about
does
some shit
a
up on a checklist.
Lion King
This about the
freestyle
fact
as
that I'm
well,
about
where
to
he's
test
got like a
this.
Lion
I'm
King's.
about
You'll have to look
figure
that up on
out
YouTube
what
whenever
my
you get home or
best
something
is.
too.
I've
That's
been
really
avoiding because
cool.
now your boy invested and I
See,
ain't got
what's
a choice
this?
except to smile and accept it. I'm past, I
Oh
rhyme
crap, what the
fast,
heck?
lines
Oh, I
fast,
accidentally
it
went to
was
Lil
high
Dicky's
class,
shop.
as I made my craft.
Here, most replayed part right here.
He like doesn't even breathe.
About to burning out from
Oh
all
my
the
God!
mistakes.
Speaking of don't even
I'm
breathe,
always up in the stakes.
do you know who Khan is?
Yes, dude.
Khan is insane.
Oh my gosh, talk about
bro.
a like that Midwest chop of flow,
Yeah.
but that dude can spit.
That dude can just go.
Dude, I remember
bro.
listening to his Rap God remix that he did because everybody's like, "Oh, Rap God, super fast." It's like Khan was like, "Screw you guys."
Dude, he did it like
Like-
20 syllables a minute
Oh
faster,
my
bro. He
gosh,
was just like, Khan's so fire,
Dude,
bro.
I grew up on that. That's the kind of rap that I liked was
Yeah.
the how fast can you spit it rap.
right.
And
Oh, so
because
you like Twisted then.
yeah, I got it because I got into like the Midwest choppa, so
Yep.
like the Midwest or no, crap, what's it called? Worldwide choppas.
Yeah,
Worldwide choppas 1, 2. Worldwide choppas 2 with Eminem is his verse is wild on that thing,
yeah,
dude.
because it's got Chris Calico on it too,
Yeah,
bro.
it's Tech, Chris Calico, and M because M has a verse, or he has the line about crap. It's like, wait, before I wreck this beat, let me just check to see if
Yep.
Stephanie Mills left any ecstasy,
Ecstasy
pills,
pills
in this
next to
in
me. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Tech did that. Unfortunately, Eminem wasn't there for that concert, but Tech and
Yeah.
Chris did their verse, bro, for that song, and people were going wild,
Dude,
bro.
M's on one of those weird patterns to where he just performed a show with Skylar Grey out in Europe somewhere, but he's on one of those things where like he doesn't do I wish he would do a tour, dude.
Yeah.
He is one of my bucket list. I will see him before I die. I want to see him. But he just pops out to random people's concerts. Did you see him pop out to Ed Sheeran and Detroit that like earlier this year?
That was so wild. I get it because it's the Detroit connection, but I was like, these two people do not make even close to the same music.
Well, they did that song together with 50 Cent, 50 Cent, and Ed on Ed's like collab mixtape or whatever it was.
I actually forgot about that.
Which I thought was good, dude. If you ever want to talk about good, so you talked about rock music. Have you ever heard, Chris Stapleton, like the country music artist? You ever heard his song "Blow" on that Ed Sheeran album?
No.
Chris Stapleton singing rock music is. I'm playing this again. Dude, this ain't getting monetized. Dude, I'm not even close to getting monetized right now. I'm not even close to getting monetized on YouTube, but dude, when I tell you, let me skip to, that's Ed's verse. Okay, listen to, right here. Here's Chris Stapleton.
He sounds like Steven Tyler.
Oh, he does, dude.
That's hard.
Right here.
Yeah, stank face instantly, dude.
Dude, I need a Chris Stapleton like rock album.
Dude,
bad after
tell me that wouldn't be
listening to
something for him to do as an old head, bro. That would be so
That's
cool.
what I'm talking
Just
about.
like,
Whenever he gets to that, dude, he's won because he just won Male Vocal Artist of the Year at the CMAs again. And there's a reaction clip because Luke Combs is sitting right next to him. And they go to a shot of Luke Combs. It's like, this is Chris Stapleton's like 7th Male Vocal Artist of the Year. And Luke Combs goes, Seven? He just mouthed 7? And it's like, Chris Stapleton could do whatever he wanted. That dude has an insane voice. And I was listening to, because Luke Combs was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and Chris Stapleton was too. I haven't listened to the episode, but Luke Combs was on Rogan's podcast, and he talks about, he said, Chris Stapleton's a perfect example of a guy that almost didn't do music because he had over 300 songwriting credits before he recorded a single song.
Oh my God.
He fell into the trap because Combs was talking about, he's like, there's this thing in country music where there's a bunch of artists who don't think they're good looking enough to be an artist, so they just write music for $200,000 a year, have the simple life. But Chris decided to record that album with Tennessee Whiskey on it. He decided to record that album with Tennessee Whiskey on it and blew up. Like, he blew up. I'm pretty sure that was his first one because he also had Parachute on that album.
Yeah.
But he blew up from there, and it's like, how could this dude with that voice not think he would make it as an artist? Because he has such a good voice, dude. Do you listen to country music at all?
So I'm really niche with my country. I grew up listening to like big time ho-dunk, like what do you call that? I guess hillbilly country, like super bluegrass, like super slow.
Okay, bluegrass,
and
I dig it.
You're gonna hate what I'm about to say next. I initially enjoyed that music, and since I grew up for so long around it, I hate it now.
That's fair. That's fair. I did for the longest time too.
I love Tyler Childers, Zach Bryan, Coulter Wall, kind of that like red dirt. Cole Wetzel's a good example of the kind of in between like a country rock star.
Yeah.
You know, that's definitely where I kind of fall in the country lane.
You like that country rock, kind of that like, I guess it wouldn't be like hard I guess that is the best way to put it, is like that country rock genre.
Right.
Which I find myself a little bit, I like that red dirt country. I like I prefer folk, bluegrass, like southern blues country to anything. I'll listen to some of the old, like Kenny Chesney's one of my favorite country artists.
Yeah, Kenny Chesney's good.
It's like, dude,
he's a legend though, bro.
Dude, Kenny Chesney's, I was so close to seeing him in concert this past summer. I was gonna go with my girlfriend's family. They had some stuff come up that we couldn't go anymore. But dude, he's another bucket list. I got a list of bucket list concerts I want to go to.
No, for real though.
But dude, I wish. So you mentioned rock music earlier again, like My Chemical Romance, dude.
Dude, MCR was so fire.
Dude, it's weird because MCR, The Black Parade, is one of my favorite albums of all time. The rest of their music,
Garbage.
I could leave it.
Yep.
I could leave it.
Yep.
the Black Parade, one of the greatest albums of all time.
It's
dude.
absolute
It's
classic
so
punk music, bro.
good.
It's so good.
There's not a single skit. It's so good.
Yeah.
Dude, Mama on that song,
Bro,
like
yeah,
with
or Teenagers, bro.
Teenagers,
So
House of
fire.
the Wolves, dude.
Yep, yep.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Who was their lead singer? I forget his
Oh,
name. I can see his face directly in my head, but I can't think of his name.
Why am I blanking on this? I'm gonna hate myself whenever I.
Dude, yeah, I'm gonna be like, oh, of course I knew it was that guy.
Yeah.
Who else was there?
Gerard Way.
Right,
I didn't even have to look at it. It's
Yep.
Gerard Way.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the connection between, like, you know, the domino effect theory and all that stuff? Have you ever heard that between, what was it? It was 9/11 and 50 Shades of Grey.
No.
So 9/11 happened. Obviously tragic. Like, no debate about that. Right. I hate that I had to even clarify that.
No, yeah.
But 9/11 happened, and standing on the shore was Gerard Way. He was in like a ferry boat or something like that. He was watching it happen. He's like, dang, I could have been in that building. I could have left this earth without making anything of it. So he decided to start a band, starts MCR. And an MCR song inspired, I can't remember her name. The author who wrote Twilight inspired Twilight to be written, and then 50 Shades of Grey is a Twilight fanfic. So did you know that?
Whoa,
50
no, I
Shades
had
of
no
Grey
idea,
was originally
bro.
supposed to be a Twilight
fan fiction?
fanfic. It's that is why Wattpad exists and like those like DeviantArt, because people are trying to be 50 Shades of Grey. Imagine being a fan of something and being like making millions off of your own separate
You're just
thing.
an idea you had one day, bro, because you were reading Twilight.
Yeah,
like,
it's
what,
dude.
bro?
I don't. I did. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No. 50 Shades of Grey is a Twilight fanfic, and like 9/11 inadvertently caused 50 Shades of Grey.
Right, yeah, it's like the event after event, bro. Yeah.
There's also one with how the Buffalo Bills only winning 2 games in whatever season led to the world record egg being a thing on Instagram.
Huh.
Because
I actually want to see that, dude. I bet there's a video on TikTok somewhere.
Buffalo Bills I think they won 2 games. They went like 2-12 or something like that.
Right. Yeah, they were really bad for a while.
Number 1 overall pick, drafted O.J. Simpson.
Yep.
Drafted O.J. Simpson. Obviously, everything happened with that. One of his lawyers, really famous, a Kardashian. So Kardashians become famous because of that case. Of course, like the Jenner family becomes famous and all that stuff too. So they become famous. And the account that held the world record before the egg was Kylie Jenner had posted like her baby pic or something like that.
Oh my
so
God, I
the world
remember that.
record
And they were
egg
like,
was
let's get more
invented
likes than
because of
Kylie
that.
Jenner. Yeah.
So that, like, the Buffalo Bills drafting O.J. Simpson is the reason we have the world record.
And in the most great assault way possible. Thank you for OJ. Yeah, literally. Only had like 26
for legal reasons,
touchdowns.
that's a joke.
Yeah. Just want to clarify real quick here.
Just want to. Do you listen to comedy at all?
Who?
Do you listen to comedy?
Very, very loosely. I like Preacher Lawson, and I like The Machine. Bert Kreischer.
Bert Kreischer. Heck yeah, dude.
Um,
Heck yeah.
So yeah, those are cool, man.
Yeah, I had to ask. I asked Jake last time because I know Jake. I listen to a lot of comedy, so I always have to ask people. I'm always looking for new suggestions for like comedians.
Have you ever heard of Preacher Lawson?
I have. I remember him on America's Got Talent,
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
He was so funny. Every time I'm single, my standards drop down. At first, I was like, she got to be pretty. Now I'm like, you smile with your teeth. Or I messed that up. I messed that up so bad. But he was like, I don't even care if she has teeth. You smile with your heart. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
Oh man, wasn't he at Northwest at one point, or like came to perform, or was somewhere around here?
Oh, I hope so, bro. I'm gonna dig that up somewhere in the stacks or something.
It was either him or there was another America's Got Talent comedian that just performed 2 weeks ago. Performed like November 17th or something like that. Came and performed on campus.
Damn, I don't even realize how I missed it.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see him because I think I had work, a project or something I had to do that night.
Fair,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I feel it though. I'm whooped after my day, bro. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm working. If you include Cat Vision, I'm doing 4 jobs right now,
dude,
bro. So
you got me beat. I was doing 3 jobs if you included Cat Vision.
Yeah.
So you got me beat, dog.
No, you understand then, though,
Oh,
just the
yeah.
amount of sweat that goes into it.
What are your, because you KXCV, Marla's Office, Catvision, and then Walmart?
Casey's. So the I used to work
That's
at
right.
Walmart, funny enough. The Casey's on 16th, the small one, that doesn't have like the truck stop or anything like that.
Dude, that's the one I go into all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, I work morning shift, so I go in at 4:45. So I'm gone most of the time before 10:45 hits. But if you go in there, if you ever wake up and get a wild hair, man, definitely come see me.
Dude, that's right down the street because I live in the Birches, which is
I know exactly where the Birches
right
is
down
because
that-
they took off the R. Now
yeah,
it's
they
the
always
Bitches.
take off the R and turn it into a T. No, I live in those, and that's the Casey's I always run to because I'm like, it's right down the road. I actually almost went the other day because I finishing paper, social media strategies paper. I was up till 6 a.m. finishing it the night before.
Oh my
and
god!
there was a point where I was like, should I run to Casey's
Get an
and grab
energy
coffee?
drink real quick.
Because I was like, should I pull an all-nighter? It was Sunday night. It was this past Sunday. I was
Oh
like,
god! So you're getting up Monday morning and
yeah,
like, doing
well,
stuff.
I was like, because I have to write my ag case studies paper. And at the time, I thought I had my comm law final that I had to do.
Oh,
I got exempt from that, dude.
Let's go. How?
So Berglund has an unwritten rule that if you have a 95% going into the final in the class, you're exempt from it because you would have to actively try and fail the final to fail the class and like fail everything. So I didn't know that. He told me that night, but I was like, maybe I should just stay up
Right.
until my first final at 11:30, crank out my ag case studies paper, and I'm like, I need the sleep.
Yeah,
So
I need to go to bed.
I slept from 6 o'clock to 11, woke up perfectly fine. I felt perfectly awake that night. So,
Jesus,
yeah.
what a trooper, dude.
Dude, I'm like one of those nighttime like troopers. I stayed up. I do my best work between like say like midnight, 3 a.m.
Yeah.
somewhere in there. I
When
do.
you're deep in the cave, just
Dude,
like
It's
in
that
a-
deep work era right there.
What do they call that? The flow state or something?
Yeah, that's when I
bro,
get into
yeah.
flow state, dude. I was hitting a little extracurricular, like, ooh,
Yep,
just
yep,
cranking
just
away and
going, bro.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I got that routine down. Dude.
Honestly, me too, bro. Yeah, I gotta be a little relaxed when I do my
Yeah, a
homework,
little relaxed, if you know what I mean.
Yep. Hell yeah.
It helps out, dude. It helps calm the mind. Like I listen to brown noise or like I listen to like rain noises and stuff. Calms my mind. Little other things calm my mind too. But like I get that stuff doing, crank stuff out. And
100%. I don't stress out as easy whenever I'm kind of just in zen like that, you know.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll be doing a paper and I'm going on it for like 4 hours, you know. I'll take a little break and then I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, like I can do this again,
Yeah.
you know. And if I were to just like go eat something and come back, I would be like, I'm going to rip the drywall off the walls.
Have you ever tried ashwagandha?
Oh yeah, actually, I did that for a long time.
Really,
I don't
dude?
know why I stopped. Not to sound all like philosophical or whatever, but I tried it and I really liked it, and I
Yeah.
recommended it to Hannah, and she's been taking it too.
Heck yeah, dude.
But yeah, I'll plug Iowa or not
Not
ayahuasca, ashwagandha.
Aaron Rodgers type ayahuasca type crap.
Yeah,
right
literally, yeah. But no, ashwagandha is awesome, man.
there. I started it. I got if you know who Andrew Huberman is, does like the Huberman Labs podcast. He's a neuroscientist at Stanford.
Whoa.
And he does so. I enjoy him because he's a neuroscientist. Like he's an actual doctor, professor at Stanford, and he has a podcast called Huberman Labs. He basically wants like open access to information of science that anybody wants it. So he interviews scientists and stuff like that. And he had an episode on stress and managing stress, anxiety. He recommended ashwagandha. Started taking it. He linked all the resources. He's like, do your own research into it. I recommend it. So it helped me quite a bit. I need to get some because I've been off it for like 2 weeks. But.
Right. No, I definitely agree though. I think I don't know. Do you ever get like subconsciously stressed?
What do you mean?
Like you don't have anything going on, but you're stressed out, almost like missing limb
Yeah.
syndrome or something. You know,
Yeah,
that
like-
definitely kind of snapped that for me. I was
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
okay, like I don't need to be worried right now.
Mhm.
Like,
It was. I remember the first day I took it, and it could be placebo. My
Right.
girlfriend told me it was placebo. Like I took it, and because she had been taking it, I took it. She's like, I think it's placebo. But first day equipment checkout, I walked in, and immediately jam packed busy.
Yep.
And normally I'd start stressing out. My anxiety would spike. I'd start to shake and stuff like that. I remember I was sitting there. It had been like an hour after I'd taken it, 2 hours, so it had kicked in, and I was like, I'm busy, but I'm not stressed. It's
Right.
like I'm not anxious about the work. It's like, okay, I'm overwhelmed. let's get to work.
It's like it puts everything in a file cabinet for you.
Yeah, it like puts it away, and you're like, well, I could stress about this, or I could just say, let's get it done.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
it was really nice.
Hell yeah.
Talking about like your new album, Show Your Teeth. What were some of your inspirations for that?
So, whenever for the longest time when I made music, I always felt like, not like I need to make something that's going to blow up, but like, I didn't get hype to songs that didn't have like a good bounce or like a good flow, and I always wanted to make, I guess, feel good music is what I'd call it. And so for a long time I did. My last album, Dreams That You Can Taste, was very like surface level, like you can listen to this, it's easy to listen to, kind of like an introduction to me, and just bars. And then Show Your Teeth, literally the title, I wanted to make it something that was 100% like a window into my mind, and instead of making the songs like, oh, I think this would sound cool, I think this would do good, it was more of like, am I going to be able to go back and appreciate the art that I made myself in 6 to 8 months, and I wanted to make something that really broke down the barrier of like, oh yeah, I'm a hard rapper, I make money, and like, I'm a dude who makes music and these are my problems, and so it was really vulnerable for me. It was hard for me to, and I even have a skit on there talking about it.
I was about to say, I was going to mention that skit because I remember listening to it, and you talked about like you wanted to use this as a platform to release those emotions, like show how you're feeling and dig deeper into that. So I was going to mention, I'm glad you brought that up, that skit that you had in there.
It's definitely something, like we were talking earlier about like the I'm Sorry song, and it was something I really had to gain perspective on. Like, you can make music that you are, showing a vulnerable side of yourself, and it doesn't have to be viewed as like soft or weak or whatever. And so that's something I really tried to turn to the max. If it was something I was feeling, I wrote it down. So that's why there's so many really hype songs, so many like sad songs, a dark song. Like there's why Rain is the outro, or Rain's the song before the outro.
Yeah, I thought the outro was dope, dude.
The skit, bro, the guitar solo.
Dude, that was so clean. And like, not to take away from like any of the music, but I was like, dude, whenever I heard that outro, I was like, dang, I could just throw this on a playlist and vibe right
bro.
Here,
yeah.
Dude. But
My buddy Chip, he goes by Stone King on streaming platforms. We've been friends since I was 6. Whenever I went into kindergarten, I met his little brother Jay, and me and Jay used to be really good friends in like elementary school and middle school. And then so I met Dylan kind of as an acquaintance. And then whenever we got to high school, I was a freshman and he was a senior, and he was like, bro, just come hang out with us. And so me and Chip got really close, bro. And he actually just graduated from Mizzou with a master's degree in psychology and moved out to Los Angeles. So he's a therapist for kids with special needs, and then he does gigs at night.
That's sick, dude.
It's awesome, man. Yeah. But he kills it on guitar. He's got an album coming soon, bro.
Heck yeah, dude.
I'm definitely shameless plugging that right now.
Not even shameless plug. Throw that out, dude. Like,
dude, yeah.
No, it was great. And then going back to like your music, I really appreciate. I remember listening through. I really appreciated the vulnerability that you had in your music, and talking about like the problems that you've had, and like talking about those emotions, and kind of, it sounded like it was a lot of growing up, kind of how you felt, your transition into where you are now in life, but also telling some of those stories. Because there was a story on there. It was like, I'm about to tell you a story about.
I'm going to tell you a little story, old dude from the block.
Yeah, like the face tats and all that stuff.
Yes. Josh, bro, old dude.
Is that based off a true story?
Yeah, 100%. I'm actually still really good friends with his son, Nicky. Yeah. So Josh, old dude, everybody called him old dude down the way. And he was hustling, doing his thing.
Yeah.
And so I was really good friends with Nicky. And Nicky's cool, bro. He's an awesome kid. But Josh was actually the first person who, like, let me hustle, and so for him to see a little nerdy white boy like me and be like, okay, like I know you can make good, that was a lot for me. He was like my first OG, and so whenever I was 17, he got locked on felon in possession of a gun, and he did 3 years for that, and so he just recently got out. But yeah, man, I mean, tatted from his fingertips down to his socks, like I'm saying, bro. Yeah. But he looks scary, but he's one of the nicest people I've ever met, man. He's a good dude.
Did you tell him you were writing the song about him?
Yeah. I told him, bro. Yeah, I'll have to. I don't know if I ever ended up linking it to him. We only talk like once every couple of months, just because I want to check in on bro and see how he's doing. But yeah, man, that was a surreal moment for me to bring that to life, you know, because whenever I was 15, 16, you know, you kind of have a limited perspective of what's going on, you know, and he really opened my eyes into like how the world works and like specific things you don't want to do, if that makes sense. You know, he was like, okay, like this is the line, you know. But yeah, Josh, I got so much respect for Josh, man. He was almost like a father figure for me, you know. Yeah. So I love old dude, man.
Yeah, dude, it sounded like whenever I was listening to that song, I was like, okay, I couldn't 100% because it was first listen through, and I'm like, I can't 100% tell if it's like fully trying to tell a good story, a bad story, if it's kind of like a praising to this dude, but it definitely sounded like he had a lot of love for this dude. Like it's crazy. I figured it was based off a true story, but I kind of wanted to get the whole picture behind that because it was pretty good listening to that. So.
He was like the first guy that ever really like took a chance on me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a really nerdy white kid until I was about 14, 15, and he saw me and he was like, "I'll teach you." Like, so yeah, I got nothing but love and respect for Josh, man. He's one of the realest people I've ever met.
Yeah. Are there any hidden stories behind this album? So talking about some of those other stories in those songs, are there any hidden stories, any kind of like inspo that you could kind of give a little bit of a deeper dive into?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, okay. Who all listens to this podcast?
This is brand new. So
okay, cool.
I'm gonna throw it on YouTube, throw it on Spotify, so it'll probably start off with like people in this building, probably start off with like parents, families, friends, whoever you want to share it to.
Yeah, 100%.
So however much you're comfortable sharing.
Right. No, I'll get vulnerable with you for a second. So let's see. Starting off with Show Your Teeth, I think there's a lot of things that about my life that I didn't really share. My family life is pretty rocky. You know, I'm out here on my own up here in the Bigville. So that's something I definitely wanted to express is like going through things on your own, you know, not exactly making the right decisions. I got kicked out of school here at Northwest after my first year. Like I got suspended for a whole trimester because I was on academic probation and failed again. So I went to community college for a year and a half, and I got to watch all my friends go to class and watch all my fraternity brothers go to meetings and parties and stuff that I didn't get to go to because I wasn't enrolled here anymore. And so that was a big wake-up call of, like, you need to make better decisions. And then the biggest, I'd say the hardest moment that I've had in my life, I worked at Walmart. It was June of 2022. And I was really irresponsible with my money. I was spending it on stuff you probably don't need to spend it on. And I woke up one morning at like 9:30, and I went to go to the bathroom, and I flicked the light switch, and nothing happened. And both of my roommates were gone for the summer, so it was just me paying utilities. And I spent all my paycheck on, and I had no more electricity. And so, you think the worst thing about living with no lights is peeing in the dark, right? And then your freezer melts and all the stuff in your fridge goes bad, and you can't wash the dishes because there's no hot water, so they stink. I got to call Cooper because I was like, dude, I need to take a hot shower. You don't have no hot water, So that was hard for me. And then I'm going to get really, really, really vulnerable with you here. I hope that doesn't change your perspective on me. I'm 2 years and 7 months sober, Cali sober. And so that was a big thing that I really, it isn't a game anymore. Like I'm either going to go down the wrong path and screw my entire life up and I threw away $12,000 in scholarships. And it was kind of a wake up call of like, I need to get my shit together right now. I was living in a house with no lights. I got kicked out of Northwest. I was making really bad choices. And it was like, shit, like this is either nut up or shut up, And so, yeah, I got into community college. The first semester was really rough. The second 2 semesters, I made the honor roll. And then I had to write a letter to be reaccepted into the school, actually, to the board. And they accepted me. And then last year, I got a 4.0.
Heck yeah, dude.
Just a little backstory, but full circle. You know, I wanted to talk about not just like, oh, I'm a cool rapper, listen to me rap. It was like, this is me. These are the struggles that I've been through. You know, like, these are the things that I'm dealt with or currently dealing with, rather than just like, oh, this is some music I made, you know? And this one was more of like an album for me almost, you know? So that was definitely, it was hard, you know, it's even hard right now to talk about it because, you know, you understand how embarrassing it is to make rough decisions. But it gives me a little bit of confidence knowing I've turned my life around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I know you had kind of talked about it in the past, kind of off the podcast whenever we were just walking in the halls. I didn't really understand the full extent of things, but I could definitely tell just the way you carry yourself isn't a very like, I've been through a lot of shit, but I'm gonna get through it at the end of the day kind of way. And like I've always respected that, and I've always really like admired that about you. So
thanks, bro.
I appreciate you feeling comfortable opening up about that stuff.
Yeah.
And like it seems like you're in a lot better place now. Kind of get here in Northwest, like like you said, you transitioned from computer science. You're a computer science major originally. Why'd you decide to go into the audio engineering? Was it because of the music, or?
Yeah, 100%. I had just been I was in between colleges, so I was enrolled at Stay Fair for general studies. I was just going to get my gen ed degree and then figure out what I wanted to do later. And I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. And I looked through all the majors at Northwest, and I was like, I literally just want to make music. Like, I don't want to do anything else. And this was there.
Yeah.
So I jumped right on it, man. Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. You got any future projects? I know you dropped Show Your Teeth. It was October 31st, I believe is the date. Show's on Spotify, at least. You got any future plans that you want to talk about at all?
Big time. I'll go ahead.
You want to shout?
I'll do a little shout out here. So Young J Tree is dropping Don't Really Care for Snakes. That's going to be early 2025. I'm talking February, maybe February, most likely March. It's a really, really big project. It's his debut album. I'm giving it maybe 15, 20 songs and a couple skits.
Heck yeah, dude.
It's going to be awesome. And then after that, we're going to try, I don't have a rough estimate release. I'm hoping maybe May for What Would Gills Do, which is the second album for our label artist Gills. It's like his sophomore follow-up album to his debut. Yeah, man, we are beyond excited to get that rolling, man. I'm so excited. I just made the website, too. I made a website for Primal, dude. So, yeah,
Did you do it in WebPub? Or?
I did it in Wix, bro. Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
It was awesome.
Heck yeah, dude.
We did it for media design.
Oh, heck yeah. Is that what you used your website for in that class then? Heck yeah.
Dude, yeah, it was awesome. I was really excited to get it up and going, and just seeing, like, the hot links that work, you know, and you're able to purchase music from the website. And, like, we could set up a merch store if we felt like it, you know, like just the availability is something that, dude, it's totally perspective changing.
Yeah, the future proofing of everything like that. So, and you said it's J Tree, right? J Tree and Gills. So they're on your record label Primal.
Right.
What do you see the future of Primal, kind of Primal Records being?
So right now I'm sitting at about 45,000 views all time. I'd like it if collectively as a label we could have 250,000 by the end of 2025, and I totally think that's doable.
Heck yeah, 100% doable. You got any plans? Any guys you're scouting out? Look to signing anything big? I guess because the goal's always there,
right? But
like, kind of, what are some of those steps? Unless you don't want to say, because I know some people some people are like, you know what, I got my goals. I'm not saying how I'm getting there, but I got my goals. Like, is there anything you want to share on kind of what you're hoping to do there? Anything that I guess anybody in the audience, if they want to check it out, kind of ways to help it out.
So my main kind of bucket list goals for this year coming alone, I want to found a LLC officially and get it Primal Records LLC, so we're a company on the market. I want to get the website like really going, and I want to do our first merch drop this year. That's kind of my big 3 things that I want to get accomplished, because I feel like, you know, like you can make astounding music, but if it's not promoted correctly, nobody's going to hear it. You know, so that's one of the things I really like. I want to get Primal on every billboard, flag, and back T-shirt of this campus, man. You know what I'm saying?
Heck yeah,
So-
dude. We've seen that with like Underwater Fly Zone. Shout out Foster.
Shout out
Huggins.
Foster, bro. Yeah.
Like I know he's done that. The campus, especially like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know my experience here. It's been very hands-on. Like we're fortunate enough to be able to use this studio.
Yeah.
It's a lot of other stuff we can do here. So it's definitely, I can definitely see that happening. Especially if that's your goal within this year, I can definitely see that happening. Especially being as collaborative as this building and campus are. So
Yeah, bro. And I think the sandbox aspect of the school definitely helps. Being able to be, like they have that huge music studio upstairs with like a drum kit and a guitar and an entirely soundproof telephone booth that you rhyme in, bro. And then right next to it, they have like the, what do they call that? It's next to Alex Kurtz's office in between the.
the Foley studio?
Yeah, the Foley
Yeah.
studio, bro. Like I've never even heard of that before, let alone just been invited in whenever I feel like it, Like that's awesome, man.
Yeah, Foley, for anybody who doesn't know, is if you ever see those videos, I know they've blown up on social media, TikTok and stuff, is whenever you see the videos of this is how snow crunching is made, like sound effects for movies. And it's like somebody with like boots or like sneakers or like heels or something on their hand, or like crunch into like sand or like snow bags or something like that. It's super cool. And like that's something that I haven't gotten a chance to do. I know a few projects that I want to work on this upcoming year. I'm hoping to hop in the Foley studio to bring those to the next level versus like just small student films and stuff like that. Kind of bring them to the next level, experiment with that, and also just showcase what the university and like kind of the accessibility that we have here.
Yeah, 100%, man. Which is awesome that not to shout out Northwest, but like, there wasn't anything like this at Mizzou, man. You had to be like a junior or senior to even touch that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I talked about with Jake and like the last episode. I talked to him. I was like, it was between here and Mizzou. I was dead set on Mizzou, and I didn't go this far into it, but I was dead set on Mizzou. And I remember touring Mizzou. I wanted to go into the J school because it was closest to broadcast, like video production and stuff, and it was fine. But I was left thinking, I was like, man, there's not a lot of inspiration. It's like a one path everybody needs to follow. Not a lot of inspiration, not a lot of room for like growth, building your own path. And I remember coming here and I was here on a tour. I don't think I saw Wells Hall before I started school here because I was on a tour and I was doing my general tour of the university and stuff like that. And Will found out I was coming to get a tour. He found out I was from Eldon, which his wife's from Eldon. And then he's like, funny enough, are you related to a Betty Holland? Because my last name. And I was like, yeah, that's my grandma. And he's like, my wife was in school when your grandma was teaching at the school.
Whoa. That's
So-
low-key. That's so full circle,
Dude,
dude.
we
'Cause
had-
he's from Iowa,
Yeah,
like,
and his wife is from small town Missouri, and it's like we had that connection there. And he's like, so I see you're in media, video production. Like I learned a little bit of your story. Why don't you come to the football game? It's senior day. You come video with us on the sideline, dude. I got to experience Cat Vision before my freshman year, and
oh, dude.
cut the tour short. Didn't get to see my dorm rooms in person because we were going to HP, and we were like, we got to go to the football game. Met him there. Got to go upstairs, show the media booth. I still have the media passes, the pictures, and everything like that.
That's so
And
cool, dude.
He showed me around. He let me go on the field. So the governor was there, and the governor was like midfield. Funny story. I'll tell this. Over the headset, I just remember there was a note. He's like, okay, the governor's here. Whenever you say, take a camera, don't say take the shot or ready shot or like take the shot of the governor or something like that. And somebody said, like, ready the governor on camera too, take the shot. And you just see the Secret Service go, because they can tune into everything. They're like ready for anything to
yeah, because
happen.
take the shot, obviously, that's a little bit, what do you call that? A double entendre, Yeah.
So I remember being on the field with him, and how I got my job with Cat Vision is there were 3 or 4 seniors that got stuck in the elevator because they decided to jump in the elevator. And Will looks at me and he's like, hey, these guys are stuck in the elevator. You did this at your high school, right? I said, yeah. And he goes, cool. If they're not out of the elevator in 10, 15 minutes, me and you are going down to the cameras. I'll coach you over the headset. You're going to run the camera with me. And I was like, okay. And he said, you were hired from that moment. So that's how I got my job at Cat Vision before I started at school. But
he scattered you out, yeah.
Dude, my parents described it perfectly. It was almost like you know, the tours that athletes get, like their scouting visits and stuff. It felt like I was being scouted as an athlete. We were given media passes. We walked on the sideline. We got to look anywhere we wanted. It was overall like I felt like I was home here. The amount of access you have to everything, just being told you can use TV studio, you can use this studio, you can use whatever to do what you want. If you have an idea, we will make it happen.
Yeah.
Was so inspiring to somebody that I knew I wanted to do media because I've always enjoyed camera work, YouTube, and stuff like that. You're good.
Yeah, so I was like, shit, I didn't want to cough in the microphone.
No,
but
you good.
Yeah, just growing up on YouTube and like Vine and everything like that, you know, I'm sure you can even attest to it. You know, it almost like drives your path a little bit.
Yeah. No, it 100% did. I remember I wanted to be a YouTuber growing up, and it's still something I want to pursue. Like, I love posting on YouTube. I think everybody did, but it was one of those dreams for me. It's like, this is what I love doing. I've always loved the idea of telling stories, which is why I'm attracted to movies, TV shows, and like narrative storytelling. I love the idea of being able to tell a story that somebody connects with.
Right.
They love your characters. They'll cry for your characters. They'll cheer for them. They'll get so invested in a story, and I love that. And YouTube's always been the way of, I love seeing the behind the scenes, and I love seeing that process, and that's what I'm hoping to do. That's why I want to start up this podcast again, is like hoping to document that process so other people can see what that is like, is just something I wanted to do with this, and I think it's still a dream. I mean, I want to start posting on YouTube again. I mean, obviously, like, I've had stuff within this last year, but I'm finally to that point realizing I've pushed it off for a year. I was going to graduate here this upcoming spring, but I'm going to graduate next fall now. It's like I've gotten to the point I'm like, I have a year left to figure out what I want to do. I need to make some shit happen. And it's been inspiring, and just everybody's open to helping you with whatever you need, and it's so great.
Dude, yeah. And just the fact that we're in the basement of the Wells Hall doing a podcast that's about to go all over YouTube and TikTok and everything else, bro.
Dude.
Like, it's cool to see that they aren't like walking in here like, you guys have used all your time in the studio, get out.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Like,
It's 7:00 at night, and I remember talking to Maddie, who is in charge of this. She's like, yeah, like, nobody signed up. Like, the door's always unlocked because we have a camera right there in here now. So it's like, we're not worried about you. You can just make sure you clean everything out afterwards. They fully trust you to come in here. Like, heck, as a producer for the TV studio, I have a key that I can't get into the building, but if I can get access to the building, I can get into multiple of like studio, everything. They just trust students with that, and because they're not trying to gatekeep stuff. They're like, we want you to make cool stuff. We don't want to be the limitation. Here's our trust in you.
Right, and we want to give you this trust so you can get the experience that you need for your career path. Almost, you know, that's something I love about being here. Is like, I don't even know if they do cat vision at Mizzou. You know,
they don't. It's SEC network, so it's all professionally hired people.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't know. I wouldn't have had that experience. I wouldn't, because being here, I got to direct NCAA tournament. I've gotten to do like MIAA. I've gotten to be live on the broadcast, direct football games. Like, I wouldn't have gotten to do that stuff at any other school. Most other schools don't let you either that, or it's not a paid position and it's a class that you take, and it's
and you're getting a credit for it.
Yeah, who wants to pay to work? It's like, I'm getting paid to work these things. I did that stuff whenever I was 19, my freshman year. It's like,
dang. Well, and you can put it on your resume and in your
exactly.
portfolio and everything, you know, like, not to, I mean, again, knock on wood. You know, we're going to be a lot more stacked in portfolio and experience-wise than the kids who, I didn't even get to touch a camera until my last semester of my senior year.
Exactly.
You know, and it's like, I've been doing this for 3 years. Give me the tower and I'll set it up. You know?
It's one of those things, and I know Will always talks about it. Especially with KNWT or like Cat Vision, instead of making 3 projects your entire time in school, you were making 10 projects a semester on top of anything else you do outside of class and anything that you are getting better on a week-by-week basis with feedback week by week. It's been game changing.
Dude, yeah. Shout out Will Murphy.
Yeah, shout out Will Murphy. Shout out everybody. Like, it's such a great experience here, but get a little late on time, so I'll 7:00.
Oh man.
Yeah, I got work in 2 hours. I'm going to bartend, dog. Bartend till I'll probably be there till 1:30, 2 a.m., whatever. But I enjoy it. Bartending's great, dude. I don't know if you've ever looked into it.
I thought about it, honestly. You make pretty good tips, don't you?
I do. I feel like I do. I enjoy talking to people. It's a good skill. As long as you're trained, you can pick up a bartending job almost anywhere. Right. So I've enjoyed it, but any what shout outs you want to give? What do you want to plug? Where can people find you? Let's hear it.
So I'm Khale Goes Hard on all social media platforms. It's just KHALE Goes Hard. I try to make it something universal. Definitely shout out the boys, man. Shout out Jay Tree, shout out Gil, shout out Ricky, shout out everybody doing stuff behind the scenes. That's definitely something that I want to get published out there, as I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm Khale and this is my label. It's like, we are Primal, and I am a small cog in a big machine, So yeah, shout out Primal, and shout out Hannah. Shout out my girlfriend. She's awesome. She making dinner right now.
Heck yeah, dude. So I appreciate you coming on. Hopefully we can get you on in the future, talk about any future projects. And,
dude, yeah.
I'll see you again. I appreciate it, dude. So,
hell yeah, I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah, of course, man. I had a great time, and we'll see you guys later.
Bet.